All right, so let's get after it. Here I have a starter mounted in a vise. This starter is mounted actually on a plate that is between the transmission flywheel or bell housing and the engine block. So normally if I were mounting this starter in the vise, I would mount it on one of these ears, clamp it in the vise right here. I would never want to clamp around the starter housing itself. You'll damage it. All right. So anyway, we have the solenoid up here on the top. Down at the bottom is the motor. If we look on the other side, we're going to see the starter drive. There it is, the pinion. Okay, the pinion will move out as the starter is engaged. It'll move out and engage the flywheel. Okay, so we're going to connect to this starter. We're going to use a jump box. A jump box can be used to test it. Battery and jumper cables also can be used to test it. We're going to use an inductive ammeter. I wish I'd had a chance to show you all how this works while we were at the school. Okay, so this ammeter is, to be honest with you, is not the right ammeter. It only reads amperage in AC current. Okay, so we're actually not going to get a reliable reading out of this ammeter. All right, here we go. We're going to connect and show you how to do this. All right, so let's first identify the terminals. We've got a terminal here. So you can see there is a bolt here with an eyelet on it and a cable. So somebody just took and cut this battery cable right there. We have a small terminal here. This would use a terminal on the end of a small wire. All right. So if we label these, let's see if I can do this upside down. I would label this as B. Okay. That's the B terminal. It hooks to the battery. So this one would be the S terminal. Clear on the other side of the motor is another one, and you can see this here. It's got a rubber boot over it. There's the terminal, then there's the wire connected to it. The wire goes down and goes down into the starter motor. Okay, we would call this one the M terminal. All right, so there's our three terminals. We are going to connect the battery cable, positive cable up here. We're going to connect the negative, not to here, but probably to any good ground point. In this case, we're going to use the lug there. There's some paint on it. We'll kind of clean that off a little bit. All right. So let's hook the negative cable on there. Now you probably just put the cable on there, kind of wiggle it back and forth. It'll break itself through the clamps, the paint. We're going to connect directly to the copper on this. We could connect to the terminal itself. Now, just a word of caution here. There is no fuse in this circuit. It's such a high amperage that there's really not a fuse in it. So if you're doing this, or if you're using a jumper cables off battery, be careful. Be lots of sparks. All right, now what we need to do is we need to connect from this terminal or battery B plus. We need 12 volts switched going to the solenoid terminal right here. All right, and we're going to do that using a remote starter switch. Okay, this is a remote starter switch. Hang on, I'll put it right here. Okay, so when I want to engage it, I just depress the switch like that. All right, so let's get this hooked up and we'll be ready to go.